If you've been living under a rock, you probably missed the Fish Tank Kings Season 1. I'm seeing here, Francis, though, Season 2. You're one of the stars of the show. Tell me about it.
Season 2 is going to be bigger, better builds, less drama, and we're going to show the whole process. From collecting the animals, putting them through the entire quarantine process at our new 12,000 square foot quarantine facility.
Wow.
And then taking them into our clients' homes, or businesses, obviously, as well.
So how big are we thinking?
We're actually doing some monster projects. One of them includes 14 individual aquariums at a new science center that's being built in South Florida. It's going to have some pretty monster tanks, including a full-blown live reef tank.
Really?
I know that we've taken some heat for not having enough live coral stuff. We did one episode last season from ORWA. We brought in some live corals,
right.
But we're going to do at least a bit more that should make people happy.
So we will see a reef build this
Definitely
time.
will.
So you're Francis the Fish Geek. How did you get that name?
I got that name because I'm a fish geek. I mean, I've had aquariums since I was 6 years old. Got my first job in an aquarium store when I was 14. Got recruited by the Vancouver Public Aquarium at 16. And now I'm old and I'm still a geek.
And now you're in Florida.
Moved to Florida 3.5 years ago from Dubai, and definitely a great choice to move to Florida. I mean, girls in bikinis versus girls in burqas.
So Francis, what is your favorite fish?
Favorite marine fish, if we're going to qualify it, would actually be the bicolor blenny.
Always a good choice.
They don't always need to be flashy and bling, but if you have a bicolor blenny in your tank, its habits are so cool. You know, it's this little thing that pops out of the corals and stares at you and nibbles away at algae. Definitely a very, very interesting animal to look at.
Sounds great, Francis. Looking forward to Season 2. You smell that? It's not me. Oh, it's over here. This stuff smells horrible.
It smells bad, but it tastes great.
You eat it?
No, but some people do.
So, this looks like flake. What is this stuff?
It is a flake. It's made very differently. It's made at low temperatures with very natural human food grade ingredients mostly. Okay. Highly digestible by the fish. Doesn't pollute the water because it locks when it hits the water. The binders lock, and it means that you get less pollution in the tank from your feeding regime.
So this must be the carnivore version. Is there a herbivore version as well?
Yeah, we do two formulas, the marine formula, which is the carnivore version, and then we do the algal formula, which is the herbivore version. The algal formula has more seaweeds, nori's in there, and it's lower protein, and obviously with the carnivore version it has more squid, mussel, shrimp, fish meal in there.
And then it looks like you guys have a grazing block too. Tell me about that.
So you have a sucker that you put on the side of the tank. The grazing diet goes on it. You put it in the morning, leave it there all day, the fish graze on it, and then you come back in the evening. If there's anything uneaten, you take it out then. But most of the time, once the fish are used to it, there won't be any uneaten food left.
Does this leach phosphates into your tank though?
No, the binders again will keep the thing together. It holds it in one piece and it won't leach things out. Obviously the fish will go up and take chunks out of it, but it will stay in one solid piece.
I'm gonna take some of this feeding block with me. The grazer, my clown tank is gonna love this stuff.
Stinky fish food? I love it, and so do my fish. What about something unique for your tank itself?
Some of the biggest things that you find in trade shows like MACNA are some of the smallest things. Check this out. Standard aquarium canopy. Most of them have a hinge in the back, and you have to open up the whole canopy. Nothing wrong with that. It's great for smaller tanks like this one. However, you get into a bigger tank, like this tank here, you have to lift up the whole canopy. It can be very heavy. Now look at this. DFW Aquarium Supply, they thought this out really well. The hinge is right here in the center, and the whole canopy is cantilevered. That makes it very, very easy to open. I bet your wife could easily open this no sweat. Makes it very easy to open and close, at the same time getting plenty of access to your tank. Now, they make these canopies in black like you saw. This is a mahogany color. There's a light oak, a medium oak, or they'll make it completely unfinished so you can stain it yourself. Very cool. Maybe I will go back and put a canopy on the rimless tank of mine. This could be a very good solution. I like what I see. When I hear Tunze, I usually think water pumps, including this bad boy Master Stream pump here. They also make wave boxes, protein skimmers, and filters, including a step into the LED direction as well. I'm here with Roger from Tunze USA. Roger, take me down here and show me, because it looks like you got some new stuff.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at, Roger?
Start with, we've got the 9004 skimmer. It's a new model of skimmer for tanks from 20 to 65 gallons. What's unique about it is it's utilizing we call it our flash skimming concept.
Which is what?
Basically, proteins concentrate on the surface of an aquarium.
Okay.
We take all the water in from the surface through a surface skimmer.
Oh, so it's surface skims.
Correct. Have a needle wheel pump inside that generates a very fine bubble, so the proteins bond quickly to the bubble and are floated up.
Interesting.
You can see the result.
Nice, frothy, awesome.
Cup removes easily. The skimming grate comes up with the cup, so that's easily cleaned of any algae that builds up. All magnet mounted.
And then right next to it, this looks like some kind of filter box?
Yeah, this is the stream filter. Uses a modified version of a 6015 nano stream to run a filter.
You can put the bag of media right in here?
Put a bag of media or floss. If you're using an osmolator, the optic sensor can mount back here.
Really? It'll fit right in there?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And a heater up to 75 watts can be mounted in the filter so that the circulation distributes the heat evenly.
So everything is right here. Most all in tanks without a sump. You got a heater over here and your top off, but this compacts it.
Correct.
Nice. I like that. So it's best as you can get all the equipment out of your tank with all the equipment in your tank.
Yes.
Now next to it, this looks like an osmolator, but not an osmolator.
Yeah, this is the new nano osmolator. They're designed for small tanks. Maximum it'd be useful on is about 50 gallons.
Okay.
It's a float switch only setup. It's very basic. And the float has a guard, so a snail or a hermit crab can't interfere with the float. The controller is incredibly small.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
And the safety it has is that the pump can only run for 3 minutes, and the pump is running, if you've used our regular osmolator, the pump is running at about 12 volts.
Okay.
This pump's turned down to running at about 7 volts, so it's just a trickle of water, and in those 3 minutes it can't pump more than 1/3 of a gallon of water.
So for nanos, super small nanos, and picos, like my little 3-gallon, I'm not going to overfill it.
Correct.
That's fantastic, because I'm getting tired of topping off every day.
Best part is the price point. It's around $110, and that's pump and all.
Wow, okay. And then I'm seeing LEDs. Talking to me about these guys.
Sure. These are our new LEDs. They're 11 watts. They're made for small tanks, completely waterproof.
Huh.
One advantage there is that you don't lose light bouncing back from the water's surface.
Oh, you can turn the mount either way too.
And the mount works one of 2 ways. You can have them at a lower angled mount, or you can have them straight across.
That's slick. And with the magnet holder, it's not going to fall off. The suction cup isn't going to give way. This thing is steady.
Correct. And they come in 3 colors, and they'll be dimmable sunrise, sunset programming. We'll have a controller for them. Everything should be available in November.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, and the controller probably sometime around December. So.
All your Christmas shopping is now done. Roger, looks great. I love this stuff. I'm going to take one of these home with me for my little Pico tank. Thanks for making my life easier, and this stuff is going to look great in your tank.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Lights, pumps, skimmers, and media boxes, all from one company. Talk about diverse. But what about something from a company that recently entered into a new product area and has been having a lot of success?
EcoTech Marine's Radion fixture has been wildly popular with hobbyists. I even have it over my tank. And this year, EcoTech is bringing out their Radion Pro. Now what makes it Pro? Well, a couple things. Number one, over 70% more light output over the regular Radion. Now, how do they do that? A couple ways. Number one, through EcoTech's TIR lenses. This is going to get more light focused down into the tank. Number two, higher powered LEDs. This fixture is kicking out more wattage of LEDs with more light. And lastly, more colors. EcoTech has added the yellow spectrum, the violet spectrum, and down towards the UV spectrum into the Radion Pro as well. So if you're looking for a lot of light, or if you have a very deep tank and you've been concerned about going for LEDs, check out the EcoTech Radion Pro. Could be a great option for you. Now, speaking of controllabilities with LEDs, that's what people like. EcoTech is listening to their users, and they've just rolled out their EcoSmart Live software. This is a web-based solution to controlling your Radions. So those of you with a Macintosh computer like me, no more need to run Windows on an emulator platform and use desktop software. Now you can do it all through a web interface, control your Radions to dial in any kind of light that you like. So keep an eye out for EcoSmart Live. And also, I'm going to keep an eye on this Radion Pro. Test it out over my tank. I want to see what I think about the increased light output, as well as the new colors when it comes to rendering colors of corals. Okay, I showed you plenty of LED lights. Let's look at something completely different. You may not know it, but plasma lighting has actually been in the saltwater industry for about 4 or 5 years now. I'm here with Dane from Plasma Light. This is clearly a plasma bulb. What are we looking at here?
You are looking at an electrodeless lighting platform. It is plasma lighting. It's been in the market for about 7 years, and in the aquatic industry, it's been on 5.
For those of us who don't know, explain plasma lighting real quick.
Plasma lighting is actually driven by a radio frequency, and that radio frequency provides a very bright light, a UV light, a full spectrum light at almost 40% energy efficiency improvement over your conventional lighting systems.
But it uses less power than metal halides, you said, at the same time getting you more light.
Because of the efficiency improvements that plasma has, you're able to direct the light, and we're also able to provide a very efficient light source, giving you a full spectrum. So right now, your 400 watt metal halide is burning 465 watts. Your plasma fixture is burning at 280, giving you over a 40% energy save.
And it's dimmable, you said.
Absolutely. You're going to be able to dim it down to 20%. It does change the Kelvin temperature, but it changes the Kelvin temperature to where aquatics like. It goes up in Kelvin to roughly almost 15 to 20,000 Kelvin.
What are we looking at on cost for this?
Cost is about $1,200 retail right now. And with the work that we've been doing with our company Plasma Light and the manufacturer of Straight Light Optical Technologies, we've been able to drive that cost down low, and we've continued to drive it down. We probably had over a 15% drop since the last time it was released.
Wow.
So we're continuing to improve, and by the end of this year we hope to drop it some more.
And you've proven it, and for people who don't, they might not want to go the LED route, or this just isn't for them.
And that's the best part, is that those that have bought LEDs right now that are skeptical and they're seeing their tank performance not be at the level that they want to be at, that can be your supplement now. So instead of adding LED to our fixture, keep the LED that you have, just reduce the metal halide fixtures out and put in plasma.
All right, we've seen plenty of gear, pulled some pranks on friends, seen some livestock, and now it's time to talk to a professional fragger. It's no secret that coral reefs worldwide are on the decline, and I'm here with Ken from the Coral Restoration Foundation. What do you guys do, for those of us who don't know?
Well, we grow coral in the offshore nurseries. We teach other people how to do it, and we replant reefs. So we're putting corals back on the reef where they belong.
Now, is this just sticking them with glue on the reef, or how exactly is that done?
It's almost that simple. It's we use underwater epoxy, and we plant them strategically on the reef. We put different genetic strains here and there, and there's a plan to it all, and it works.
And I've also seen pictures of your farms and trees and things, frags hanging upside down.
And everything is hung from trees. We developed this tree technology to suspend the corals, and they grow faster, they're hardier, and we grow everything on a tree, and they're suspended there, so when they're ready to go onto the reef, we just cut them off and put them on the reef.
So you basically have the world's largest reef aquarium.
It definitely is, and it's awesome to swim in our reef aquarium.
So if someone wants to get involved with you guys, what are the different ways they can do that?
Well, the easiest way is just to sponsor a site or to donate, to us. That gets involved because we need the funding. But they can go to our website at coralrestoration.org, and they can sign up for one of our classes that we do. They can adopt a coral. They can adopt a reef.
So you can have your own little frag out there.
Yeah, so you can have your own frag.
That's cool.
At the nursery. We'll track it. We'll put your name on it if you want. We can plant a coral on the reef with your name next to it. So it's almost like instead of adopting a star, you can adopt a coral, and it's the real thing.
And you can have your own section of reef as well, you said.
Right, so for a little bit more money, you can adopt a mooring ball, or you can adopt a whole reef. And so we're looking for those kind of donations to take us through the next few years. And we just got permits to put 50,000 corals on the reef, which is it's going to be the biggest restoration project ever.
That's a lot of frags.
That's a lot of frags. We have 30,000 in our nursery right now, so we're ready to go. It's a big nursery.
Now, if someone's a diver, can they come down and dive with you?
Right, that's the idea, is that people that sign up for these classes, we teach them all about it, and then they go diving. So
you can go plant frags.
You can go frag and plant corals on the reef,
and
then
dive.
Come back next year and do it, and see how they do it done.
That's awesome. And with MACNA 2013 is going to be in Miami.
Right.
While they're there, they can easily come down and see you.
Right. So we're going to organize some dive trips, some snorkel trips, and everybody that comes down is going to be fragging corals. Even if you don't dive, we're going to have a frag day at our office, and we're going to have fragging on the boat and then fragging underwater. So
it's a lot of fragging.
Yeah, and most people have never fragged. There's probably no people in the industry that have ever fragged a staghorn coral from the Caribbean. So
I can't say I've done that.
It's a special pleasure to kind of
sure, underwater in the ocean.
Yeah, it is, and to see that it's going to grow and it's going to succeed. It's a real neat thing.
Well, it sounds great. I'm definitely going to get on the list.
Good,
I want to
that'd be
come down
great.
there and do that.
No, it's awesome.
I'm excited. Thanks for talking to me. No matter what MACNA you attend, you're always going to see some great new gear, hear some fantastic lectures, and make some new friends as well. Now, speaking of MACNA, next year it's going to be happening right by the ocean in South Florida, August 30th to September 1st, 2013. Until next time, I'm Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank. This has been Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Have a good one, enjoy your tanks, and know your tank personality.